My name is Clement Samuel. I'm from the Ministry of Information, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the first meeting of its kind, where we are meeting the parents and telling them about this bold new initiative, which is a joint venture between the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Information, Broadcasting, Telecommunications, Science, Technology, and our corporate partner, Digicel. The initiative is a bold one. It tries to, or it will attempt to make learning for your children very interesting. And I can assure you that we will not be very long, because we know that most of you have had a long day. You want to get the information. And without further ado, I'm going to invite to the podium the Honorable Edmund Mansour to give a few brief remarks. Minister.
Thank you very much, Clement, and a pleasant good afternoon to everybody. Now, the purpose of this afternoon's exercise is, in the first instance, to give you an opportunity to find out some more details about the e-education computer tablets and e-education connectivity component of GATE. GATE has 4 distinct components. It is a partnership that we have developed with Digicel, we meaning the government of Antigua and Barbuda. At its epicenter is the deployment of 4th-generation long-term evolution technology in Antigua and Barbuda commercially, in the first instance, and in the second instance, for widespread deployment within the operations of government and within the education system. And in this particular regard, we are focusing on the secondary school students. The flyer that you have received gives you a very brief overview on what this component of GATE is and how you can proceed to enroll your child or children in this program. The Ministry of Information is collaborating very extensively with the Ministry of Education, and I'm very pleased that today we have Mr. Claire Brown and Ms. Jeanette Mason, both from the ministry. My colleague, Dr. Leandro, is on leave, on Ireland, I believe, but on leave. And I bring you greetings on her behalf as well. The information you will receive today has been packaged by the team at the Ministry of Information in a way that we hope will be very easy and very simple for you to understand. I want to say that if you are desirous, after having heard the preliminary information which we will share with you, which is going to be very brief and to the point, and permit me to recognize the principal of the Antigua Girls High School and all the other officials who are here. We are going to give you a snapshot of the process. If you are interested in applying, which is step 1, to have your child or children enroll in this program, it's very simple. As I was saying, the team at the Ministry of Information has collaborated with the Ministry of Education. We've worked very hard to make this process, in the first instance, very simple, and in the second instance, very user-friendly. I do want to say, however, that the computer tablets will remain the property of the government of Antigua and Barbuda, and we are loaning it and the connectivity to your child or children. Asha will speak in a few moments on steps 2 and 3 and so on. It's very simple. If you enroll your child or children today, the enrollment process is very simple. There's a form you're going to fill out. And once you do that, it is really a signal on your part, the parents' part, to say to the government, yes, I want to find out some more about this program. It's not practicable for us to share with you all of the information in DNA detail today. What I will say is that there are three very simple documents, document A and B, which almost look alike. One is your copy as parent or guardian. One is the government's copy. Those are the documents to which you will affix your signature. That does not happen today. That will be those documents you will receive in due course from the administrators of the school. And the third step is when we announce, let's say that we're going to use this court to allocate the tablets, the computer tablets. And Ashton, I don't know if did we bring the demo with us? Can we just have a look at it for a second, please? So, having said that, I want to draw your attention to the terms of use agreement. Every one of you today, and I think we have enough copies, who signs up will get a sample of document A and document B, which are, as I said, ministry's copy and your copy. But document C is really the detailed document. It's about 10 or 12 pages, very brief, neatly put together, so that you can understand what are your combined responsibilities. What do I mean? Your responsibility as a parent and what your child's responsibilities are going to be jointly. So if you accept those terms, when we announce to you that, for instance, in the case of the Antigua Girls High School, that the documents, meaning documents A and B that are specific to you, it will show your name. When these documents are ready, we'll announce it, and the school will work with you to give you the documents. And the other steps are very straightforward. Let me say that I had announced that we would be issuing an iPad. And I want to recognize the presence of Victor Corcoran, the CEO from Digicel, who is going to share with you a few words. Now, when I had initially made that announcement, that was the intention. Unfortunately, there are some issues related to Apple products and how it talks to the LTE network. Suffice it to say, however, working in collaboration with Digicel, we are going to deploy a brand new device made by a world-famous manufacturer, Samsung. This is, in fact, the device. It's a beautiful device, and we believe by the time we begin allocating it to the students, we will have a ruggedized case as well. So this is in no way inferior to the Apple product. In fact, it is Android-based, and my good friend Ashton here will tell me and tell you that Androids are now taking over the marketplace, and there is some validity to that. I will end my brief remarks, ladies and gentlemen, by saying that we would like to hear from you today during the question and answer segment, which comes up literally in a few moments. And what we're trying to do with this first feedback session, the we meaning the team from the Ministry of Education and the team from the Ministry of Information, is to get a barometer type feedback to see if there are any tweaks that are necessary. I do want to say, however, that the terms of use agreement is not susceptible to review from you at this time. It is designed so that in the first instance, students will behave responsibly, and I expect them to do that, and I have every expectation that that is what will occur. And my personal experience with young people is that they know when to do things. They might slip up every now and then. But I am confident that the future is here. And before you leave, you will get another little flyer marked "The Future" in here. The future is here, where the Ministry of Information shares with you, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, in essence, you know, how transformative technology has been in education. I attended the St. Joseph's Academy. I left in 1983. There was no access to technology. I went to university. There was no access to technology. We were learning very primitive stuff in those days. The fact of the matter is, we have made a decision. The government has made a decision, And this particular decision is the single most significant decision in my submission that could propel young students forward from just an IT perspective. So whether you like it or not, the information age has arrived, and good parents should prepare their children for it by promoting computer literacy as soon as children are ready for it. Children as young as 2 and 3 are playing with a computer in the home, and by age 8, children are using the internet for school reports. The information age has arrived at lightning speed, and I think you agree with me. Children and young people, and when I say young people, I mean anybody below the age of 40, so that includes me, by the way. Children and young people are among the most active citizens of the new era and are often first in their family to use the new media. Some parents and guardians of young people are enthusiastic about the new technologies. Others desperately hope these changes will just go away. However, there is little doubt that computers are here to stay and that they are changing the way young people learn, play, and get ready for their work life. In the year 2000, in the United States, an estimated 60% of new jobs required technological skills and computer know-how. In the early 1990s, workers with computer skills earned 10 to 15% more than workers without such skills. And children are increasingly using new technologies in their schools, libraries, homes, and communities. I want to end by saying to parents, we know you face uncharted territory, and the technologies are evolving so quickly, it seems hard to get a handle on what this new territory really is. And I remember a parent telling me about a year and a half ago, it's like being illiterate in a world of readers. We don't know enough about what's out there to know what to be concerned about. And that's a very valid feeling. In addition, not all parents can afford a computer in the home, and not all schools are yet integrating technology into learning, thereby creating a gap between children who are prepared for the information era jobs and those who aren't. And so I want to ask you, maybe you will tell us later on if you want your child to be unready, non-ready, ill-ready. None of those words really exist. You got to make sure your kids are ready for the information era jobs. And how can a parent teach when there's so much to learn? This new challenge may seem unlike any other you've faced before as a parent, but in fact, many of the answers lie in common sense, some basic experience, regular vigilance, and sensible guidelines for children. And so I want to end by saying to you, thank you for showing up today. I want to say to Digicel, I want Mr. Corcoran to say to his chief executive officer, to say to his board chairman, we are very cognizant of the fact that you understood what the long-term projections are. And I give you the commitment today, sir, that we will make the GATE program work. With those few remarks, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Minister. We're now going to call on Mr. Clay Brown from the Ministry of Education for some comments. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Minister, CEO of Digicel, Madam Acting Principal of the Antigua Girls High School, parents, distinguished others. I just plan to speak a sentence. I don't plan to be very long. The business of the Ministry of Education is teaching and learning. we have a responsibility to provide for the persons on our charge, the learners in Antigua Barbuda, the best possible learning experience. It is our charge to prepare young people to fit for life, not just for work, but for life. And we live in the digital era. We cannot continue to prepare or to seek to prepare young people for the digital world in analog classrooms. Just chalk, blackboard, and plenty talk. People, young people, we are mindful that young people are exposed at this juncture, are exposed to various technological tools. And can you imagine having that kind of exposure, having all kinds of cell phones with all kinds of gadgets, and then you come into a classroom and you see chalk and blackboard? We want each student, each learner to achieve. And so the talk is, and not just in Antigua Barbuda, but throughout the Caribbean and throughout the world, integrating ICT in education. And we don't want our young people here in Antigua, the girls at the Antigua Girls High School, to just be on par with their counterparts in St. Kitts, in the rest of the Caribbean, or even in the United States or wherever. We want them to be above. And so we're going to put them in a position to be above. I heard the other day, and I'm going to end now, I said a sentence. People talk about, you're going to give young people tablets. And all these videos are floating around out there. And somehow, I just kind of wondered to myself if people think that the cell phones were responsible for the videos. You see, when you think about it, perhaps technology has done us a favor. In short, technology has given us a window into what our young people are doing. We can't just say that the way to get young people to use technology and to behave well is to withhold technology from them. Something is radically wrong with that. You cannot say that, cars, if you drive them fast, people are going to get in accidents and chances are they're going to die. Therefore, that modus of transportation, we should go back to get, to raise some donkeys. That would be backward thinking. And so what it is that we have to train our young people, we have to give them the proper guidelines and instill in our young people the proper values as we seek to provide them with the best possible experience so that they could be the best, they can become the people that God created them to be, to offer the best to society. With those words, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. I'm now going to invite Mr. Victor Corcoran, CEO of Digicel, for a few brief comments.
Clement, thank you very much. Good evening, all, and thank you for having me here tonight to speak to you, Honourable Minister, Mr. Brown, Acting Principal. My name is Victor Corcoran. First of all, I am the Chief Executive Officer of Digicel Antigua and Barbuda. About 7 months ago, I had the pleasure of moving to Antigua for the first time. I was sent in here because Digicel as a company is very, very excited about the GATE project. I am an engineer by training. I am one of two CEOs in Digicel who's an engineering background. And because of the complexity of the new technology and because of the potential, they felt that they needed an engineer to hopefully deliver it. So I'm here to try and make sure that we deliver on the GATE project and we deliver on the huge potential this project has. I'm first of all very excited by the crowd, because obviously with a project like this, I'm nervous, but seeing how many people have turned up tonight, seeing obviously the commitment of the parents, seeing the excitement of the parents, proves to me that we're definitely doing the right thing, and this project will be a huge success. So thank you very much all for turning up to listen to us tonight. I'm really here to answer questions on how it'll work, on the setup, rather than to make any speeches. But just briefly, Digicel is a Caribbean-based company. We set up in Jamaica in 2001. We have quickly expanded across the Caribbean. As well as providing telecom services, we try and make a lasting difference to the communities in which we work. And education is a key component of that. Since the earthquake in Haiti, we have built, I believe, 80 schools, rebuilt 80 schools, building 70 more. We have built 94 classrooms in Jamaica in the last 2 years. We've built 13 laboratories for ICT in Antigua and Barbuda, but this is the first project of its kind. It's one of the biggest projects we're undergoing at the moment, and we are committed to making it work, because we believe if we get this right, we can make a huge difference to the youth of this island. So we're excited, a little nervous, but keen to listen to you tonight, to take on board your feedback and see what learnings we need to do to make sure it's perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're now going to invite Miss Asha Phillip, who is going to take you through the process of how you apply for the tablet. And Minister, can we just pass the tablet around so they could be seeing it? Okay, and we're going to pass the tablet around so that persons or parents can have an idea of what it will look like.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to walk you through the application process. It is outlined in the pamphlet that I would imagine just about all of you have received. But just to make sure that everyone is clear on what the application process is, I'm just going to go through very quickly, and then, of course, we're going to have a question and answer segment afterwards. So the application process begins. There will be 2 opportunities for a parent or guardian to register their student. Please keep in mind that the application process is very school-specific. So, for instance, if you're a parent here have more than 1 child at different schools, you would have to apply for that child at each school. So, for instance, if you have 2 children at the Antigua Girls High School, you can apply for the 2 children at this school, but that wouldn't necessarily apply for the child at maybe St. Mary's Secondary School. So there'll be 2 opportunities for you to register. The first will be at the consultations. So for those parents who are interested in registering their children this evening, you can do so immediately after the consultation. There is also the opportunity for you to register up to 1 week after the consultation by calling the GATE hotline, which is 734-4283 or 734-GATE. At that time, we'll just be taking very basic information, which will be the student's information and the parent or guardian's information. That is actually outlined in the... Okay, well, we seem to be having a little glitch, but as in your pamphlet, under step 1.2, you'll be seeing that we'll be capturing the information for the students, which will be the first name, the last name, date of birth, nationality, gender, school name, form, student ID, street address, village, and parish. As well, for the parents and guardians, we will be capturing the first name, last name, gender, street address, village, parish, ID type, and ID number. That is actually very important. So what would be required, for instance, like if you have a license, the ID type would obviously be driver's license, and the ID number would be the number that your license is registered under. Your relationship, in this case, it is a relationship to the student, meaning if you're the father, mother, or legal guardian. Your home telephone number, cellular phone number, work number, and email address. The following IDs will be accepted for the parents or guardians. That would be your passport, your driver's license, voter's ID, or the new Social Security cards. Those are the Social Security cards with the photo ID. A copy of the e-education computer tablet and e-education connectivity terms of use agreement, which is document C, will be provided to you after this consultation, but it will only be provided to those persons that are interested in registering their student. The terms of use agreement will actually also be available online. So, for instance, if you're not comfortable with registering your child at this time, you can actually view it by visiting gateantigua.com. So we're on to step 2, which is documents that will be collected from the school's administrative office, completed and returned to the school's administrative office. There will be 2 copies of the computer tablet loan agreement that will be available from the administrative office. Those are documents A and document B. I think I may have gone ahead a bit. Oh, yes, sorry. Document A, which is the ministry's copy, and document B, which is the parent and guardian's copy. The ministry's copy, I believe, is relatively self-explanatory, that's a copy of the document that we will be holding on to for our records, and document B will be for your record. Document A must be signed by the parent or guardian and the student. Document B, which is the parent or guardian's copy, is to be retained by the parent or guardian. And please do not sign document B prior to arriving at the different allocation centers. The dates and the times will be announced. Let me repeat. Please do not sign document B before arriving at the location where the tablet will be distributed. So you're only to sign document A and return it to the school. Document A will be made available at the schools. No, you will only receive document A once you have completed step 1, meaning you have submitted your information. From there, we will actually generate document A, which will have very specific information about the serial number for the tablet, the name of the child, and everything that will be, all relevant information to the tablet and the allocation to that student. So only upon completing step 1 will those documents be generated. And you can actually collect them. They will be made available to you at the school's administrative office. And the announcement will, of course, be made letting you know when it can be collected. Upon receiving document A, you and the child, the student, would need to sign document A and return it to the school's administrative office by the deadline specified. The deadline, of course, has not been announced as yet, but we will make the information available to you as it arises. At that time, the principal of the school will verify the document. You will also be required to provide a photocopy of the ID, and let me reference step 1. The ID information that you submit in step 1, you will actually now take that same ID, photocopy it, attach it to document A, and submit it to the schools. Now, in this step, the principal will, of course, verify your identity, that you are the parent or legal guardian of the child. After that, the Ministry of Information will collect that copy, and that will be the copy that we hold on to. Step 3. Step 3 speaks to the allocation of the computer tablets. The dates, times, and venues for the allocation of the tablet will be publicized well ahead of time. On the day of allocation, you, the parent or guardian, is required to bring the unsigned document B. The student that you will be representing is also required to be in attendance. The parent or guardian must present the original photo ID. So that would be the original document to the copy that you submitted in step 2. You'll be required to bring that ID. So you would be required to bring your passport, driver's license, voter's ID, or the new social security card with you. At that time, you will present the original photo ID provided in step 2 to one of the ministry's administrative staff members who will be actually handling the distribution or allocation process. The parent or guardian will sign document B in the presence of the Ministry of Information's administrative staff. So that is when document B will be signed, and it must be signed in the presence of the Ministry of Information's administrative staff. The Ministry of Information staff will also sign document B in your presence after verifying your identity, meaning after you've presented your photo ID, they've checked it against the information submitted, we've okayed everything, we will sign the document and return that to you, and that will be your copy. And once that is done, the tablet will be allocated to you and the child. So that is pretty much the completion of, that is how you complete the registration process.
Okay, I'd like to thank you folks for attending. I just want you to realize that we do have the registration forms. So if you are desirous of having your child participate in the program, please fill out the forms and hand it out at the desk as you leave. And I think a few of us will be here for a few more minutes. So if there are 1 or 2 questions you need a sidebar, we'll be pleased to assist you. Thank you for coming.